Essa sessão é uma sessão especial. Durante os primeiros dias aqui do evento, o pessoal estava chegando, eu passei com o celular mostrando um QR Code para alguns de vocês. E algumas perguntas foram selecionadas, algumas perguntas que eu vou estar fazendo ao Alexei, a gente vai estar fazendo em inglês. Então, se alguém tiver alguma dificuldade, sinta-se à vontade para pegar o tradutor lá fora. Tá? So, Alexei, I will start to make some questions to you. These are some questions that were made by our visitors, the users. Okay, just some technical problem here. I don't know what to. Just a second. Okay, technology is beat me. Okay, here it is. So, to those who were at the fans workshop yesterday, we were able to have a small glimpse of the origins of Zabbix, the first steps of Zabbix. And I find that history really interesting. In short, we all know that you used to work in a bank, that you were a developer, and you were creating solutions for that bank. And at some point, you were just tired of doing repetitive jobs. So always having to access the servers to check the health of the servers and all. And what I'm really curious to know is about, it's not really about the Zabbix as a software or as a tool. What I really would like to know is what was the turning point? At what moment of your life you were like, okay, I will stop doing my actual job right now at the bank and I'll just focus on my energy and efforts on Zabbix. It was like a community tool, something that was just rising still. And what is that moment, that turning point?
Yes, you're right. In the bank, I was working as a system administrator, so I was responsible for big Unix boxes like HPX, AX, also worked as a DBA, managing Oracle, Informix, DB2 databases. And on a daily basis, I was trying to check that everything is fine. Yeah, I did it manually. At that point of time, I realized that, okay, I need some automation. Well, I think every system administrator or lazy, including me, so I was trying to automate my work with some cron jobs and some Perl scripts and a bash script. That's how Zabbix started. But actually, after this job, I've got another job. So which is not related to the bank industry. I've got another job, and but work on Zabbix on a monitoring tool. It continued. It really was my like a hobby project. I was so interested in the monitoring. Yeah. So and it evolved as a hobby project. Zabbix 1.0 was released. It received a very warm welcome from users. Users were telling me. Sending my email, oh, thank you very much for your work, and it's really what motivated me very, very much to keep going, to continue working on Zabbix, yeah? But at some point I realized that some requests which I received were related to people were asking some commercial services, like, oh, can you provide a training for my team, or could you please implement some feature in Zabbix, our company will pay you. And at that point of time, I was thinking, oh, maybe it's a good moment to turn my hobby project into my kind of full-time job. Yeah? So it wouldn't be great if I would do my hobby all the time, yeah? And gets paid for this. And that's, of course, it was a very risky decision because it's open source, making money with open source. It's very... I don't know, it was really something new at that point of time. But, well, yeah, I think that's probably the best decision I ever made, I guess.
Okay, so did you have any big worries like, okay, I'm going to start diving into this, and did you have some backup plan, some plan B that you were ready, like, okay, if this fails, I have this, or was it like a straight jump, a head jump in the pool?
No, well, I didn't have any plan B. Of course, plan B is, well, just
get back to work.
Find some other work as a developer or as a system administrator, but actually I was really so focused on my work. Like, it wasn't like 8 hours work, it was, well, many others. And over weekends, late nights and so on. So I was really focused, and yeah, it's like
A real life
you
project.
know, you know what? When you like doing something, yeah, you do it with all your heart, yeah. So
Yeah,
time doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's just like there in the computer and oh, it's about time to sleep now.
Exactly.
Okay, we have some slides here about some historical events. Let's see if I can get on the screen. Okay, we have some pictures. They will appear here eventually, I believe. Okay, here it is. Some of the really ancient pictures. We have a young Alexei right here, and
Where did we get it from?
where did I get that from? Well, we have here the first conference in 2016, and you can see here Luciano, you and Luciano had more dark hair. It's quite a time right now.
Me too, I guess.
Yeah. Okay, so now Zabbix was created. You were focused on it and all. How was it like when you just got your first customer? Like you just said, okay, people start to come to me, and you were like, okay, I am able to start working with the thing that I created, with my hobby, and make money with it. Was it something really natural that just happened and you were, okay, I got this? Or was it like, what do I do? What is an invoice? Who do I need to contact to get this information? And how much should I charge this guy for what he's asked? Stuff like that.
Well, it was really difficult because I'm an engineer, so I have kind of a brain of an engineer. I'm not so much interested in finance or accountancy or marketing or sales. So I'm really interested in Zabbix company, and I was only one in this company. Of course, it's kind of scared me because I don't know what to do. Because they were asking for invoices, they were asking for kind of support agreements, and I actually had no idea how to deal with this paperwork. So I had to spend lots of time researching this stuff and asking my friends how to I don't know, issue invoice. It wasn't easy. But regarding the first customer, I think I was really lucky because one of the local company in Latvia. Actually, this is the largest energetic company in Latvia. They wanted to run Zabbix under Oracle. And at that point of time, Zabbix supported maybe only MySQL and Postgres. And that company actually paid for development of the support of Oracle. And it really allowed Zabbix to leave the money we've got, allowed me to leave 1 year, and then I hired one engineer and then another one engineer, And then, of course, we've been getting more and more customers. So that was the start of the Zabbix.
Rising of Zabbix.
Oh, yes.
Okay, and for Zabbix as a company, what would you consider the most notable achievements or milestones that Zabbix has accomplished since its creation? Like a big event, some goal that you were for, I don't know, some maybe commercial goals like market cap, or I don't know, your range in the worlds. So I think looking back at the history of Zabbix, I don't do it often. I'm kind of looking forward, but sometimes, I'm kind of forced to look back and think what maybe should we do better, maybe some mistakes we've made in the past. I really think that the turning point, of course, was the decision to publish actually Zabbix as a free and open source software. I think that was kind of a key decision. I mean, kind of the major decision in the life of the Zabbix. And another, obviously, is establish a company. So actually, Zabbix got some good backing, kind of, and I started work on Zabbix 100% of time. I had no way back. So because I made this choice. Okay, I will be working on Zabbix 100% of time. I will build a company on top to support Zabbix. I think these two decisions were really important. But later on, of course, there were many other decisions. Like, for example,
a decision to work with the partner, to build a network of partners. This was a huge decision, also something new for me. The decision to establish a local branches, like open a branch in Tokyo, and then in the United States, in Porto Alegre, also was really important decision. But I think, of course, I think it's end up about people, maybe meeting some great people, so you can we share your values, they share your vision, and then work together. I think that's kind of the basement of all those milestones, I believe. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. And we just talk about the first time in Brazil. We have some pictures, extra pictures. Look at that. Yes, that's Luciano, guys. And I believe that was the first training that you had.
Yes.
Right? When we came here for the first time.
I remember, and it was here in São Paulo, actually, as far as I remember. Yeah, and you see how official I was. It's because I am coming from banking industry, and in banking industry we had a dress code. You need to look like this. Yeah, so that's why when I was doing trainings or any work, I've been doing it like this, like for 5 years, but then I gave up. Yeah, so
really
yeah,
cool.
well,
really
good,
cool.
good
Okay,
pictures.
and you talk about community a little bit. Well, I believe that I'm correct to say this, that Zabbix is based on the community, right?
Yeah.
Everything is started online with you sharing your code with the world, and now Zabbix community is spread around the whole world. Could you tell us a brief story of how that community started, and how did it feel to see something that you created reaching all the edges of the world? Like, what was your main feeling when you just started? Okay, I'm just going to create this forum and post stuff online. And how were you surprised when it started to get thousands and thousands of visitors all the time?
Yeah, I think community and this feedback from users or users' community, this is basically the same thing to me, is really what kept me moving forward. Actually, at the very start of Zabbix, when I just released the first version of Zabbix, 1.0 Alpha 1, it was in 2001. Yeah, and what really kept me going is this feedback I received from early, we may call them early adopters of Zabbix technology. Yeah, so they wrote me some thank you letters. Okay, oh, thank you, I'm using your product. Well, it's great, it helps me. And it really is that what motivated me for a very long time. Those small emails, the small messages and signals coming from a community. Yeah, but then, of course, when Zabbix 1.0 was released, it became kind of a more kind of stable product. Then the company was established. We saw that, well, in many countries, there were kind of the huge growth of the community members, including, well, Brazil and Latin American countries, or Japan, or Russia, or some countries in Europe. And yeah, I was really, I don't know, it's like you do something and people appreciate your work. It's a really warm feeling that something you are doing is appreciated and it's used by other people. So that still motivates me so much.
Yeah, that's great. And I started using Zabbix at 2015, 2016. It was version 2.3, 2.4, or 3.0, something around that.
Yeah.
And yes, the community in Brazil was already active. And not only in Brazil, but in Latin America overall. We had a lot of blogs and personal blogs. People used to share stuff on their own blogs and YouTube. And at what moment did you, Alexei, as a person, and Zabbix SIA, started to look at Latin America as a potential market? I believe it was at the same time, right?
Yeah, I think it's not that I'm thinking in a kind of market terms, that Latin America is a good market, or maybe, I don't know, Japan is a good market. It evolves differently. So at the beginning, we just see and feel that we have many users in some areas of the world. For example, here in Brazil and other Latin American countries. And actually, of course, the good signal about Latin America was the invitation, the previous slides, the invitation from the Uniready company, from Luciana, to come to Brazil and make the first training here for Brazilian users. And then I've been also invited to FISLI conference and participated many times. I don't remember, maybe 3 or 4 times, maybe more, something like this. And it's really, and I was really getting kind of more and more kind of this feeling that Zabbix is important for Brasilia, for other Latin American countries. That's how it's actually evolves. It starts with community and users.
It's always community. It was never like something, oh, I need to make money. No, it was
no, absolutely not. It's actually, it's really comes like a secondary thing. Yeah, if you do something good, okay, well, probably money will follow you. I don't know. That's how it worked for Zabbix at least.
That's great. That's great. I like that line of thinking. Okay, and let's see. Is there a remarkable moment of the community, your favorite community moment in all history that you're like, okay, I'll save this in my heart forever until I die? Like I don't know, the first conference, the first time that you meet with the guys in Japan, when you went there for the first time, anything like that?
Well, yeah, I think these are those moments when I have these in-person communications with the people, with Zabbix users. Of course, conferences, first Zabbix Summit, our participation in different events. But I think what really touches me, and when someone comes to me and tells, "Oh, thank you very much for your product. Because of your product, I managed to build." A company, I managed to, grow my family or something like this. So I really see that when someone is telling me that Zabbix made a difference in kind of a personal life, so to say, it's really what makes me feel very good. Very good.
Oh, that's great. That's actually related to the next question, because I don't know if you see you like that, like the father of Zabbix, like Zabbix was a small child that you created from the first and saw it growing. And how do you feel about the popularity of Zabbix? And of course, your own popularity, because you are a popular guy. You are the main star of the show here. How do you feel like that? Are you a shy guy? You're okay with this?
Well, I don't know. I think I'm trying to avoid these things.
Okay.
But again, it's really good to see that the things we are doing maybe far away in Europe, in Latvia, in Riga, we are developing software, designing software. It's really good to see that. It's being used all over the world, and the good things we are doing. I don't know. We are implementing some features. We are doing some business service monitoring, the previous talk, or be some visualization and something, and then I really love the feedback what we receive afterwards. Could be positive feedback, sometimes it's not so positive feedback, but still it's like a very, kind of vibrant feeling, So I really feel that we are so much connected. We're all so much connected in a Zabbix community,
That's great. So going forward to the next topic here, partnership, talking about partners. And there's a really recent picture. Here we have some from the last summits, and we have one that happened, I believe, in the last year for the Brazilian partners meeting.
Yes.
Talking about partnership, it also came from the community, of course, and right now we have over 250 partners. in the world? How did the idea of the program appears? Like, when was the first thing, okay, this sounds interesting, I'm going to do it like this to reach the, what was your goal, where the idea came from? Where did the idea came from?
Yeah, I think probably we realized very quickly that being a small company, and at that point I think we were like a company of 10 people, maybe even less, it's really hard to be, it's just impossible to be close to all our users all over the world, yeah? And that's why this idea of a partnership came up. Okay, instead of doing everything by our own, let's our partners to be involved, because there are many, I don't know, many cultures, many countries, many people speaking a different language that we do, and obviously I think it's a really kind of obvious step. So let's have someone else to help you. Let's give our partners a chance to do actually exactly the same as we do as Zabbix. Provide a good services to customers, but all over the world. Yeah, so that was really important, yeah.
Okay. So for everybody that's watching right now, not only here in the room, but also online, what could you say for them if they want to become, I don't want to turn this into a marketing or commercial stuff, but if people are interested in becoming partners of Zabbix, how they can start, how they can contact our team?
Well, it's very easy. You just go to zabbix.com, to the partnership section. It's all information is there. So I think the main point here is, are you interested in Zabbix? Yeah? Are you interested in monitoring, or are you interested in a kind of long-term relationship with the Zabbix company, with Zabbix community? And if the question to this answer is yes, then yeah, you're very welcome to become our partner. Well, absolutely, we'd love to see you. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. So I think we skipped one. Okay, no problem. Next topic is about the product itself. We have some questions, not only the product, the software of Zabbix, but also the services that we provide as a company. And there's one specific topic on this, the trainings, courses. And this time we have, and all the questions were like anonymous, but we have this question coming from Patricia. And she made a really interesting question here. Due to the relevant growth of Zabbix and the notorious needs to amplify the certifications path, what is the future of the official certifications? Is it possible that in the future we have separate streams of training for specific areas, like, for example, a professional certification focused on advanced deployment, security, advanced problem detection, something that people could just, okay, I want to follow this trail and become this kind of expert with Zabbix?
Yeah, actually, it's a very good question. Yeah, because as a product gets more complex, as we introduce more and more functionality in Zabbix, it's really hard to fit everything in one training session. So, for example, a long time ago, I think that photo from São Paulo, it was like 2009. It was only one training program available at that time. But then we have introduced another one, then another one. Now we have also these extra trainings for specific topics. And I really can imagine that in the future we'll have really like a special kind of directions for different, maybe based on use cases, or based on, as it was put in question, for example, kind of security paths, or maybe, I don't know, visualization or integration path in the training. It's absolutely possible. Yeah, I think that it may happen in a 2 years' time, in a few years' time in the future. Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome. Okay, now. Okay, I think I jumped something here, just a second. Many people are curious about the kind of the business model of Zabbix. We are always talking about this. Zabbix is free, it's open source, you can use for whatever you want. And many people don't know this, but many people ask this. How does Zabbix make money? So
Yeah.
could you talk a little about this, the main services that we provide, or?
Yeah, so again, Zabbix is really unique, I think. Not so many companies that deliver some free and open source software and have a sustainable business built on the free and open source software, yeah, and Zabbix is. Yeah, we choose a path of providing services, additional value. So we give our product away for free, but what we do, we provide all sorts of services on top of Zabbix, of our product, yeah? Yeah, that's, yeah, there are some support services, subscription support services. We do provide a turnkey solutions. We do provide trainings. We do provide also, well, template building. So many different consultancy services also. When we consult our customers how to build their monitoring, how to build using the best practices. So, yeah, maybe if you would talk to kind of venture capitalists, they will tell you, oh, this is not scalable because you cannot get the growth like this if you would sell, I don't know, licenses, or if there will be price per device you monitor. But anyway, at this moment, Zabbix is a very sustainable business. We have enough money to grow Zabbix. We have enough financial resources to hire more people, to hire more engineers. So I'm fully satisfied. So actually, I think we found a very good balance between giving as much as possible to our users and our community on one hand. On other hand, we have enough resources to keep growing our company and our product. Yeah, and I really hope that Zabbix will continue to do so in the future. Yeah, that we'll do all our best.
Okay, so now I have a really straight question. What is Zabbix's approach to continuous product development and improvement based on both customer and community feedback? How it's shaping the project's direction, and how does Zabbix development team prioritize and decide on new features and enhancements for the future releases?
It's difficult, yeah. In Zabbix, I'm responsible for the roadmap, so I'm making decisions what is going to the roadmap and what's not going to the roadmap. Of course, I'm talking to people in Zabbix. We have most of, well, conversations. It's really easy to convince me if someone has good arguments, yeah. But still, I have kind of end word on any decision when it comes to the roadmap.
You give the final call then.
Yeah, exactly. Someone needs to make it, yeah. But yeah, so when it comes to roadmap, again, there are some kind of strategic directions which we are moving to go. Like, for example, the visualization. Like, for example, HA, load balancing, and I know, redundancy, the availability of Zabbix for cloud monitoring. So there are some kind of strategic vectors of development. So we do some strategic features. Then we look what Zabbix community are looking for. So just evaluating those feature requests. Also, we take some part from our feature request tracker and implement the most important features, but not only most important, most voted. Not only most voted, but sometimes we take some smaller features which we feel are blockers. You know, if you don't have this feature, you cannot use Zabbix for a specific use case. We also take these features. Of course, we have something from a backlog, but it's really and we communicate constantly with our enterprise customer, asking them, so what do you want in Zabbix to be implemented? How do you use Zabbix? Or what is missing in Zabbix so you can extend the scope of monitoring in your company, yeah? And actually, really, the whole roadmap is kind of a balance of interests of many stakeholders, yeah? Community, strategic features, our vision, basically, our customers, and of course some things which comes from backlog, yeah, some backlog from a development team. So it's really, I don't know, having millions of developers, if I had millions of developers, we could implement everything, yeah, like tomorrow. But since we have limited resources, we need to choose, we need to pick up what will be implemented in the next major release. So, well, it's not easy, it's not easy.
Okay, so you see, guys, it's not that easy as you like when you vote for something like, oh, I wanted this on Zabbix. Not that easy, guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes it's not like kind of pragmatic decisions. Sometimes those are decisions which are based on kind of intuition. You know, it's like a feeling that you are doing something right or you're doing something wrong. Yeah. So there is no kind of strict algorithms or step by step when you can see if this will be implemented or not. No, it's more than that. Yeah.
Okay. So next questions are about the future of Zabbix. Yesterday, we talked about the plans for the next 7.0 LTS version and the amazing features that are coming, some huge changes. But we have some questions also related to the future of the company. What are the next major steps of the company? Are we going to have new offices around the world? Do we have something planning already? Anything that you could give us a spoiler about?
Yeah, obviously we are always considering maybe different locations for offices, but it's not about kind of our decision to open office. It's more about finding good local partners, good local people in those locations. Yeah, this is one thing. But again, speaking about the company, I'd love to deliver the value and the better product faster, in a more faster way, in a more agile way at this moment. And it really requires, I think, a bigger team of developers and bigger team of analysts. And I want to have more resources in Zabbix company for R&D job, for research and development. Yeah, so I think the future of Zabbix company is to have more kind of distributed team, yeah, distributed across our branches and our offices we have, which would work as kind of as one team, yeah. So the distribution and the local growth of branches and the communities is really important. Yeah, that's what I've been thinking about. Because at this moment, for example, the product is being developed now. But in the future, I'd love to see it more distributed across the world. Yeah. That's great.
That's great. So you'd say next 3 to 5 years we might have something like
maybe
that.
Even earlier. Yeah.
Okay. And what about the plans to continue the innovation of monitoring? We had some questions related to AI from the fans of ChatGPT yesterday on the fans section. And is the dev team dreaming or planning to have something like that to help the monitoring or the triggers to better analyze the behavior of the environments?
Yeah, obviously, that's exactly, I mentioned the R&D teams and Zabbix, and that's what I would like to see. I'd like to spend more researches on, more time on research of emerging technologies. And I'm also, I mean, when I saw ChatGPT for the first time, it was like a magic moment, yeah, for me. Really, it's kind of mind-blowing what is available now. And of course, I'm not kind of expert in artificial intelligence, so I'm not the best person to ask this type of questions, but I see that there could be a very nice a synergy, especially in the way how we as humans may communicate to, say, kind of a monitoring tool or observability tool. So maybe instead of this kind of web front end we are communicating to and looking at the graphs, there will be a kind of absolutely different way, more like a voice or I don't know. It's there are kind of many ideas in my head. I mean, it's, but I think that, of course, these models which are used by the ChatGPT, the language models, and so on, I think they may be applied to monitoring relatively easily. But the main question, of course, is the outcome, and can we trust? Yeah. So this is kind of the matter of trust. The insights and the results which are generated by AI, can they be 100% trusted and verified? I think this is kind of the big question. But still, I believe it's something that we need to be, I don't know, to spend more time, we as Zabbix, to learn more about these technologies. Absolutely, yeah. Okay.
So you see, guys, maybe AI in Zabbix, maybe?
Zabbix GPT.
Zabbix GPT. Okay, another trending topics that we have around there. A lot of things are leaving the ground and going to the cloud. And a lot of people always ask, like, does Zabbix has anything like SaaS support, or does Zabbix even plan on having something like that? Like Zabbix becoming a service as a software as a service, or do we always need to have Zabbix on premise? Do we have plans around that topic, something like that?
Well, what can I say? It's coming.
Coming. Okay, let's keep this to us. Last question, and this time is still talking about the future, but this is more like a philosophical question, thinking question. If you were able to send a message to the young Alexei way back in time, he's just starting to study programming, so you have the opportunity to give him a message. So what kind of message would you give to yourself, your past self?
Yeah, I think it's a very difficult question. I don't know really. I think maybe a message not to myself, but the younger guys. I believe it's really important to find your talent, yeah, and to follow your talent, yeah. That's what I would suggest to everyone. So if you are interested in I don't know, in painting, or you're interested in designing some things, or you're interested in something else, I really believe that it's very it's really, that's what all humans need to do. Just follow your talent.
So that would be your message to the next generation of developers?
I think so. I believe it's really important. It's really important. That's exactly, maybe to some extent, what I did, because I wanted to build this software, Zabbix, which would monitor. I spent all my energy, my effort. I'm still very, very interested in this area, and that's what kept me going, regardless of different difficulties. So it wasn't always easy, as you can imagine. There were some difficulties, some disappointments, maybe some conflicts in some cases. But anyway, there must be some kind of a bigger idea you follow. Yeah. So that's probably the message. I don't know.
Okay, I would send myself some lottery tickets or something like that. But that's all, guys. Thank you, Alexei.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
We have some questions here.
Okay.
And we have a time for you.
Okay.
What do you think?
What do you think? Want to
Answer
more?
Problem. Sure.
Is here.
Okay.
We've got some more questions, I think.
Yeah.
Let me see. Some questions now live.
The last three, four.
Okay.
Okay.
It's in Portuguese. I have to translate. Just a second. Question related to tags. We will have a management place of tags inside Zabbix itself to manage the tags, because some guys have really huge environments with a lot of tags, and they keep a lot of spreadsheets with this. And does Zabbix has any plans to get that inside Zabbix itself?
Yeah. Actually, I'd love to have this implemented. I call this feature like a tag policy. So you would define a policy for the tag usage in Zabbix. For example, what tags are allowed on a host level, what tags are allowed on an item level, what values of a specific tags are allowed. And I think this should work in a combination with this, how it's called, auto-completion of tags. Because at this moment there is no auto-completion. It's really easy to make mistakes. I don't know, caps, non-caps, letters. But the combination of auto-completion with the tag policy, which would be defined on a global level, at least on a global level, I think it will make tag usage much more easier, especially for bigger environments. Yeah, it's coming. It's coming.
Okay, the next question. What are the incentives to Zabbix for the users, so they can tell their company that Zabbix is a valuable tool in their companies? Because a lot of guys are like, I love Zabbix and all. What would you think would be the best argument to sell Zabbix to those companies, the bosses, and stuff like that?
I don't know. I think this is
a trick question, maybe.
No, it's not a trick question. I'll try to explain. For example, that's what we see how Zabbix is adopted normally. Some engineer installs Zabbix. He's not asking a boss. He just installs Zabbix for his work. Okay, to monitor something, to do some work for him, to do some automation and monitoring. And then, okay, this engineers understands, oh, this is a good tool for me, for team members, so it gets introduced to team members. Team members also understand, oh, this is a good tool, yeah? And then it ends up that the company is using Zabbix for some very kind of a critical monitoring. And then I think this is the right time to go to your boss. When you already have a Zabbix doing some work in your company, some valuable work, so you go to the boss and tell, hey, you see, okay, our SLA now is much better than it was before. Why? Because we are using Zabbix for monitoring. Yeah, or now we have a good visibility of what's happening in our company. Why? Because now we have Zabbix reporting us about the different problems. So I think this is the best strategy. Instead of going to boss and telling, hey, let's install Zabbix. It may not work, but maybe show the value of Zabbix, kind of a business value of Zabbix. Because boss is not interested in most cases in technology. They're interested in, I don't know, say risk management or what? Budget, yeah, for example, yeah, how much money should be spent and so on. Just try to talk to a manager using his language, is the language of the manager. Because managers, they don't understand things like open source, non-open source, I don't know, Linux or VI, Emacs, whatever. No, yeah, manager speaks different language. Yeah.
Okay, this is an interesting one here. Is Zabbix always going to use the one-size-fits-all module for the product, or as Zabbix moves forward and moves to monitoring the business operation, do you see the need to fork into different products like Zabbix that's specific to do this and another one that's specific to business?
Yeah, actually, this is a very good question. Yeah. At this moment, I'm not sure how I think maybe in 2 years' time or 3 years' time. At this moment, I'd like Zabbix to keep going as a single product. But if you want to use Zabbix for different needs, I don't know, say for IoT monitoring visualization or for alerting or for data processing, since we will support this kind of in data ingestion, data streaming, so it could be used for data processing, whatever. It all can be done through configuration, yeah? And that's the strategy of Zabbix development. We'd like to make Zabbix as flexible and as adaptable to different use cases as possible. So single product, but you can, by configuring it, yeah, by adjusting configuration, by giving different rights to different parts of UI, you can really tailor Zabbix to fit your needs. I think that's, at least at this moment, I think it will work it will work this way. Yeah. Because even here we see that Zabbix is being used for absolutely different use cases. So it's the same product, but it's used differently. Some customers using, partners using for business service monitoring. Some are using to monitor, I don't know, IoT. Some are using to monitor something else. And this is the same product. I don't really see now how it can be split into different products. Yeah, yeah. That's the answer probably.
Okay. One question about APM. The feature is on the Zabbix roadmap. Do you think this new implementation can insert Zabbix into new markets to replace enterprise softwares and keep being a free tool?
Yeah, obviously it will be a great kind of additional value to Zabbix users. Yeah. At this moment, of course, it's all in the early stage, so I cannot tell you how it's going to be implemented because because at this moment the data model, I think it's the main question here is about data model in Zabbix. Yeah. Now it's very focused on the metrics, which is very structured data, but as we move to open telemetry support, collection of events, we will start working more with unstructured data, and it will introduce additional challenges, especially for the team of architects. We need to understand how to implement it. But anyway, I think we'll find a solution. We'll find a solution. But at this moment, it's a little bit early to tell how it will be implemented, at what benefits it will deliver to users of Zabbix.
Okay, so I think that's all for today. We have some time still, but one of the questions that you might be waiting for this. Why the name Zabbix?
No. Yeah. Yeah, well. Yeah, I've been asked this question so many times. Yeah, basically, if I ever write a book about Zabbix, yeah, so I will explain maybe. Yeah, but
okay, let's keep it secret for now.
But anyway, so Zabbix is the kind of the history of the name of Zabbix is that I was trying to invent a unique name for my monitoring tool when I was about to release it. So I had a product, I had my kind of the software, which was at that point of time when it was not released was called, I think, Sysmon or something, system monitoring, something like that. Yeah, but then when I wanted to release it publicly, I discovered that, oh, Sysmon is already taken by someone. Then I tried to invent some other names, like a Supermon, like a Netmon, like NetView, whatever. And all those names were already taken. I did some Google or AltaVista search, and I realized very quickly that I am not the first person to use these words. And then I started inventing some unique names in a combination of different letters, and that's how name Zabbix came to my mind, and I think it is really a good name.
Yeah, and what you say is the right pronunciation. You defend like it's Zabbix, Zabbix, Zabbix.
I call it Zabbix.
So it's Zabbix, guys. Thank you again.
Officially.
Alexei.
Officially.
Thank you again. Thank you, guys.